If you've been following American politics for any length of time longer than it's taken me to speak this sentence, then you know there is always a spirited competition being waged for the title of biggest idiot in Congress. And most of that conversation tends to center around your younger contenders, your Cory Bushes, your Hank Johnsons. Is Hank Johnson still in Congress? The guy who was afraid of Guam capsizing? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Your Jamal Bowmans, your Dan Goldmans, and shit, who's the other one, Jim Eagle? The squeaky cocktail waitress with the big Latina booty. Oh, the hell with it. It'll come to me eventually. But you can't sleep on the legends, folks. And so Sheila Jackson Lee of the Texas 18th District, she looked around this week, saw that she was no longer being included in that conversation, and she said, "Hold my beer, bitches."
Provide unique light and energy so that you have the energy of the moon at night. And sometimes you've heard the word full moon. And sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases. And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that? The sun is a mighty powerful heat that is almost impossible to go near the sun. The moon is more manageable, and you will see in a moment, or not a moment, you'll see in a couple of years that NASA is going back to the moon.
Now, for as much as that piece of video can and should stand for all time as a monument to its own awesomeness and to the intellectual legend of Sheila Jackson Lee, former ranking member of the Space and Aeronautics Subcommittee, by the way, there are a few phrases here that need to be singled out for extra glory, I think, starting with this one, my personal favorite. The moon is a complete rounded circle which is made up mostly of gases. And look, you can dunk on pretty much every single thing she says here. It's too easy, frankly. It's like beating up a retarded kid, so I'm not going to do that. And since you people are my audience and not a bunch of unwashed, mouth-breathing cretins, you don't need it explained to you in detail why every single thing Ms. Jackson Lee says here is unbelievably, comically, farcically wrong, so I'm not going to do that either. But I will leave you with two things. One, it's kind of fun if you watch the guy who's standing in the back, who I assume is the principal of the high school where the remarks, such as they are, were being delivered, because he seems to figure it out pretty quickly that this lady is saying some pretty wacky shit, but he doesn't want to look like he's being disrespectful, so you see him just sort of making a pained expression each time she finishes a sentence, like somebody keeps kicking him in the balls and he has to pretend it doesn't hurt. And the second thing is, my kids are all grown now, as most of you know, but if they were still little, I'm talking very little, like 7 years old, first or second grade, let's say. If my first grader got up in front of the class to give a presentation about the moon and the sun and got that many of the basic facts that badly wrong, then not only is that kid going to bed without any supper when we get home, but family honor and intellectual hygiene both demand that I give him or her a proper whipping when we get home. "Mother, go and fetch me a switch," I would yell to Lady Curmudgeon before emptying a mouthful of tobacco juice into the corner spittoon, and then she would say, "But we ain't got no birch tray!" And then I'd say, "God damn it, woman, you find me a damn birch tree and you get a damn switch off of it so I can whip this damn child good and proper for being as dumb as Sheila Jackson Lee. And be quick about it before Black George Washington show up."